You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews at 6.
Good evening, this is koolNews at 6. I'm Kyle. Let's get into the headlines. Senator Pia Catiano formalized her Senate re-election bid on Sunday as she filed her certificate of candidacy for the 2025 elections. Catiano is among Tito senator aspirants that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. recently endorsed. The senator is a member of Nationalista Party, a part of the newly formed coalition Alianza para sa Pagong Pilipinas. If she is re-elected, she will be joining once again her brother Alan Peter Catiano in the Senate. Makati City Mayor and Senator aspirant Abby Binay recently said that she has no issue with being with Catiano on the same senatorial slate, as they can work together and still have differences. Binay also shared that the two of them are no longer friends. The rift between the Catianos and Binays revolves around the 30-year terror dispute between the cities of Makati and Taguig involving several barangays, including Tite Empo or Enlisted Men's Barrios barangays. The Supreme Court ruled that Empo barangays and Fort Bonifacio are under the jurisdiction of Taguig City. Meanwhile, the Commission on Elections recently announced that the 10 Empo barangays can now vote for their districts following their conclusion in the city's two districts. P3 PWD Party List first nominee Rowena Gunanshawn on Sunday urged the Department of Education DepEd to provide more learning gadgets for special education or SDED learners. In her speech after she filed the certificate of nomination and acceptance of the P3 PWD Party List, Gunanshawn said her group would push for the improvement of the SPED program should it win a seat in the House of Representatives in the 2025 polls. According to Gunanshawn, a former Commission on Elections Commissioner, technology can make children with disabilities learn faster. For example, for visually impaired children, we used to teach them how to read Braille. We still teach them to read Braille. Gunanshawn said after she filed the certificate of nomination and acceptance of the P3 PWD party list. In the future, they will be able to see colors by using technology, so what we really need now, and as the Secretary of the Department of Education, is that they should have laptops, they should have notebooks, she added. Gunanshawn also said teachers and parents are always complaining that there are not enough teachers in SPED, so the number of teaching assistants for the program should be increased. In March 2022, former President Rodrigo Duterte signed Republic Act No. 11650, or the Instituting a Policy of Inclusion and Services for Learners with Disabilities in Support of Inclusive Education Act. The law mandates all public and private schools to ensure equitable access to education for every student with disability. Five aspirants seeking seats in the House of Representatives filed their certificates of candidacy COCs on the 6th day of filing in San Juan City. According to the Commission on Elections COMELEC data, 52 aspirants, including the 5 aspiring lawmakers, have so far filed their COCs at its National Capital Region office. Below is the list of electoral hopefuls for the 2025 elections who filed their COCs on Sunday, October 6, and the position they are vying for the following: Las Piñas Councilor Mark Antonio Santos, Las Piñas Lone District Representative, Senate Minority Leader Aquino Coco Pimentel III, Marikina 1st District Representative, Kenting Cajelian, Venezuela 1st District Representative, Quezon City 2nd District Representative Rap Tufo, re-election, and Dr. Catherine Martins, Venezuela 2nd District Representative. The Marcos administration should strictly enforce laws and implement policy reforms to prevent the resurgence of Philippine offshore gaming operators, POGOs, Deputy Speaker David Suarez said on Sunday. Suarez made the statement following a congressional probe that exposed the link between Michael Yan, former President Rodrigo Duterte's economic advisor, and his associate Aladim to the illegal activities of POGOs. The lawmakers said while the government has already banned POGOs, the fight against illegal activities should not end there. We cannot allow this to happen again. We need stricter laws, better enforcement, and more cooperation between our agencies to ensure that the Philippines does not become a haven for criminals, he said. Pogos are just one part of a larger problem. We need to dismantle the entire network of syndicates using these platforms as a cover for their illicit operations. I fully support President Marcos in his commitment to cleaning up these industries, he added. Suarez also commended President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s decision to ban Pogos. Marcos was absolutely correct in his call to shut down Pogos. We have seen in our Quad Committee hearings that this is not just about gambling, it is also linked to illegal drugs and extrajudicial killings. This is not a simple problem. This is organized crime, and we must put an end to it, he said. He also noted that the Quad panel's hearing have exposed deeper links between Pogo operations and other criminal activities. The problem here is not only Pogos. The evidence presented during the Quad Committee hearings shows that drug syndicates are using these platforms as a front for their illegal trade. It's alarming that we're not just talking about gambling, but also the lives of our fellow citizens, he said. Suarez also emphasized the alarming increase in extrajudicial killings connected to Pogos. We cannot ignore the growing violence surrounding Pogo activities. People are being killed, and these deaths are directly linked to the criminal syndicates operating behind the scenes. We need to address this swiftly, he said. And the Police Regional Office Northern Mindanao, PRO-10, is hunting two suspects who killed an officer on Saturday night. Captain Abdul Kahar Armama, the city's Gordon Station 2 commander, was gunned down near Green Hills Memorial Park in Barangay Bula by two unidentified suspects on board a motorcycle. His remains were brought to his hometown in Llano del Norte. PRO-10 said the act of violence against those who dedicate their lives to serving and protecting the community is unacceptable. Our thoughts and deepest sympathies are with the family, friends, and colleagues of Captain Armama during this painful and tragic time. We assured them that we will do all necessary actions to apprehend and bring to justice the perpetrators, PRO-10 said in a statement on Sunday. We call on the public to come forward with any information that can aid in our investigation. We must stand united in rejecting violence and ensuring that justice is served. The Cagayan de Oro City Police Office already formed a task force to run after the perpetrators, according to another statement. Armama belonged to the Philippine National Police Academy Masiglat class of 2017. A family statement honored Armama as the best father to his children, a responsible husband, a loving son, one of a kind, generous, thoughtful gentleman. He was particularly against illegal drugs. He fearlessly led the charge against drug syndicates, putting his life on the line to make our city a safer place. His courage and dedication have earned him the respect and admiration of our entire community, read the statement posted on social media. It is now 6:10 in the evening and Cool News at 6. We'll be right back.
Samahan si Mark Corrales sa isang oras na kwentuhan, tawanan at kung ano-ano man. Tuwing Sabado, pagsapit ng alauna ng hapon.
Magandang hapon po. It's Gusto Ko Sabado, GKS.
Sumama na sa kwentuhan sa GKS. Gusto Ko Sabado! Dito lang sa nag-iisang hipili na Mark. Cool FM.
Feeling good while you work. Cool FM.
Welcome back to Cool News at 6. Let's continue with the headlines. Sorry, give me one moment. Alright, the news just came in. So, two low-pressure areas inside and outside the Philippine area of responsibility were spotted on Sunday afternoon, the State Weather Bureau said. The Philippine Atmosphere, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration reported that the LPA inside PAR, or Philippine Area of Responsibility, was last spotted 100 kilometers west-northwest of Coron, Palawan as of 3 p.m. This low-pressure area is embedded within the Intertropical Convergence zone affecting Southern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Due to the ITCZ, we can expect overcast skies and scattered rains, lightning, and thunder in Metro Manila, Calabarzon, the Bicol region, Mimaropa, and the Visayas. The LPA inside PAR has a low chance of developing into a tropical cyclone within the next 24 hours, the State Weather Bureau added. Meanwhile, the LPA outside PAR is far from the country's landmass at 2,625 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon and was formed at 2 p.m. However, Pagasa has not ruled out the possibility of a second LPA developing into a tropical cyclone. The rest of the country can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with chances of localized thunderstorms. No gale warning was raised over any seaboard in the country, Pagasa added. Sorry guys, it's taking a while for me to. Oh, crap! Sorry. All right, sorry about that, guys. Let me just fix this real quick here. All right, let's get into the international headlines. Actually, I want to double check what's happening here. Okay, alright, let's get into the national headlines. Wait a minute, I have the thing again. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry guys. Alright, we'll set aside what's happening later, but let's get into the international headlines. As a huge fireball lit up the night sky and plumes of smoke rose over South Beirut early Sunday as Israel unleashed intense airstrikes targeting Hezbollah nearly a year since the Gaza war erupted. Israeli forces were on high alert ahead of Monday's anniversary of Hamas' October 7 attack, which sparked the war. After a devastating year-long conflict in Gaza, Israel has now shifted its focus to northwards to Hezbollah, Hamas' Iran-backed ally in Lebanon. Lebanon's official national news agency said the Hezbollah stronghold in South Beirut was hit by more than 30 strikes, which were heard across the city. Targets included a petrol station. Israel's military said it conducted a series of strikes on a number of weapons storage facilities and infrastructure, stressing it had taken numerous steps were taken to mitigate the risk of harming civilians. AFP TV footage showed a massive fireball over a residential area of South Beirut, followed by a log bang and secondary explosions. Smoke still billowed from the site after dawn. In the Sabra area near the southern suburbs, thousands of people, some carrying bags on foot and others on motorbikes, fled one of the most intense bombardments of the Israel-Hezbollah war. Hezbollah said it targeted Israeli forces with artillery after they tried to infiltrate towards Kehalat Sub-Ayab in Bilda in southern Lebanon. A statement said fighters fired a rocket barrage at Israeli troops during the evacuation of dead and wounded soldiers in the Menara border area shortly after midnight. Hezbollah also said it launched assault drones against an Israeli military base. Ahead of Monday's anniversary, Israel military spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said at a televised briefing, "We are prepared with increased forces in anticipation for this day where there could be attacks on the home front." One Israeli military official speaking to AFP on condition of anonymity as he was not authorized to discuss the issue publicly, said the army is preparing a response to Iran's attack. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu noted Iran had twice launched hundreds of missiles at Israel since April. Israel has the duty and the right to defend itself and to respond to these attacks, and that is what we will do, he said in a statement. Netanyahu's critics accuse him of obstructing efforts to reach a Gaza ceasefire and deal to free hostages still held by Hamas. A senior Hezbollah source said Saturday the group had lost contact with Hasham Safieddine, widely tipped to be the next Hezbollah leader after airstrikes in Beirut. The movement is yet to name a new chief after Israel assassinated Nasrallah late last month in a massive strike in Lebanon's capital. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said Friday that the resistance in the region will not back down. Late Saturday, Israel issued a new order for residents of southern Beirut to evacuate. Ahead of the October 7th anniversary, thousands joined pro-Palestine rallies in London, Paris, Cape Town, and other cities. Israel's President Herzog said his country's October 7 wounds still cannot fully heal. In the related news, an Israeli strike on the mosque in the Gaza Strip early Sunday killed at least 19 people, Palestinian officials said, as Israel intensified its bombardment of northern Gaza and southern Beirut in this widening war on Iran-allied military groups across the region. Israel is still battling Hamas in Gaza nearly a year after its October 7 attack and has opened a new front against Hezbollah in Lebanon, which has been trading fire with Israel along the border since the war in Gaza began. Israel has also vowed to strike Iran itself after it launched a ballistic missile attack on the country last week. The widening conflict risks drawing in the United States, which has provided crucial military and diplomatic support to Israel, as well as U.S. allied Arab countries that host American force. Iran-allied military groups in Syria, Iraq, and Yemen have also joined in with strong distance air strikes on Israel. The strike in Gaza hit a mosque where displaced people were shuttling near the main hospital in the central town of Deir al-Balah. Israel said it targeted a Hamas command and control center embedded among civilians without providing evidence. An Associated Press journalist counted the bodies at the Al-Qudsa Hospital morgue. Hospital records showed that the dead were all men, while another man was wounded. The military meanwhile announced a new air and ground offensive in Jabalia, in northern Gaza, home to a densely populated refugee camp dating back to the 1948 war surrounding Israel's creation. It circulated photos and video footage showing a column of tanks heading toward the area. The military said its forces had encircled Jabalia as warplanes struck military sites ahead of their events. Over the course of the war, Israel has carried out several large operations there only to see militants regroup. Israel also ordered new evacuations in northern Gaza, which largely emptied out in the early weeks of the war, while Israel ordered its entire population to flee south. Up to 300,000 people are estimated to have remained there despite harsh conditions and heavy destruction. We are in a new phase of the war, the military said in the leaflets dropped over the area. These areas are considered dangerous combat zones. And now for the showbiz news, former Calatagan Vice Mayor Andrea Del Rosario said she won't be making a political comeback in the upcoming 2025 midterm elections, saying she will focus on her daughter Bea, who has a rare congenital disease. Del Rosario said in an interview with entertainment journalist MJ Mafori by TikTok that being a public servant is about prioritizing your constituents, which is something that she cannot do at the moment. We know that in public service you have to prioritize your constituents, but recently we had another medical issue and another medical scare. Yung anak ko na si Bea was born with a rare congenital disease before, jejunal dysphasia. The former Viva Hot Babies member briefly shared that her daughter had surgery early this year, although she clarified that she's fine, quote unquote. The actress also spoke about her daughter in an interview with Karen Davila in September, saying Bea's condition also led to her being diagnosed with short gut syndrome. And that is it for Cool News at 6. As always, if you have any suggestions or feedback that you'd like to share, you can get in touch with us at tvhphilippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, I'm Cairo. We will see you later for more news headlines with Cool News Prime Time at 9. Good evening.